Okay, so I figure now would be a decent-ish time to make a video like this. So anyway, what it was like working for like Urban Outfitters and like the hiring process. It was like last year when I worked there. I stayed with the company for a little over a year and a half. I have currently left, but this is kind of more geared towards those that are on the younger side. I kind of wanted like a fresh start when I worked with them, or more so, not so much fresh start, but more like different atmosphere, right? Um, and I heard a lot about the company. I love the fashion, love the clothes. I love like free people movement, anthro. I especially love anthro, given my luxury background. Um, but I had a lot of fun while working there. It's a pretty chill job. It's definitely along the lines of like first job type of vibes, like first leadership position type of job or first sales associate type of job. So if you're not super experienced in like sales world, or like retail, perfect job. But it does help to have a sense of fashion of some kind. Like, especially if you're very in tune of what is currently trending for the age ranges of 16 to like 25. Like the Y2K, um, visual K kind of, um, a lot of the cottage core stuff, like the skater core, 90s skater core coming back, athleisure's making its full time run, etc. Like having knowledge and also dressing the part for your interview. Um, they're really when they do the interviews, they're looking for dependability and also flexibility because most of the positions are going to be part time. So perfect between school, summer job type of work. I was honestly just a basic sales associate when I got there. I did want to become more. I did end up getting a promotion at a different location for product flow because I do have about 10 years of experience there. Um, this was kind of more so like a fun job for me while I was recalibrating my life. Something that, you know, I have 10 years of retail experience. They didn't have to tell me really how to do much of anything. I figured most things out within the first month. I would step in whenever like management wasn't there. If it was something that obviously I couldn't do, I wasn't gonna do it. Mainly because I couldn't. I would try to get management. I would try to mediate, keep everyone level-headed, etc. It was very easy to assert myself amongst my coworkers because a lot of them didn't really have a lot of experience, especially with problem solving. Would say if a customer was frustrated because of one thing or another, and unless it was just something I genuinely didn't know how to do. Um, but very great way to build a sense of how to be in a retail setting. Um, the way that like the day to day is laid out, you switch between different parts of the store for different tasks. Not every store I've worked at has done that type of thing, but it definitely helps for someone that's not as experienced to have an understanding of how like register versus fitting room versus customer servicing on the floor. Um, I did some openings, I did some closings. My coworkers are all pretty fun. Every once in a while, and this is gonna happen at like any job, any job, you'll have problem coworkers, but again, it really is just about keeping a level head, developing the ability to be democratic and mediate. I didn't get into fights with people, but every once in a while there's a tension, and so what I would typically do, change the subject, redirect people, put people in different places again, etc. Only because I would try to mediate, I would try to level with people. The discount, I know that's what people love. The discount, it's great. It's honestly really good. I love the discount. Um, the pay definitely is around first job. It greatly depends what it looks like, between like location, position, etc. But just expect something that's like cute little side money that you can set aside, save, whatever. But if you're looking for something long term, you'll definitely have to either get into like a management position, transfer to a different store for something else, or find a niche, like locationally. So, say like in Texas, there's not a whole lot of options that aren't management level types of stuff. But say if you go to one of the distribution centers or stuff like that in other states, warehouses, etc., or even corporate, that would be your best option. Um, and because, or say you want to transfer for like a different scene. Free People's very different than Urban, and Anthro is extremely different than Urban. Anthro is definitely much more like their high end luxury side, very different clientele, um, very different looking like clothing and whatnot. And I don't know how much word of this is out, but Maeve, which is Anthro's brand, if you're familiar, is opening its first store and is becoming its own standalone brand. So if you join the company, you can get to see how that potentially will work out within its own rights. But as far as being there, it's all vibes, very much like if you get along with everybody, you're gonna have like a pretty fun time. Very good like experience just on the floor, how to communicate, how to problem solve. You get to wear what you want essentially. There's no real dress code. Like I've had managers wearing like crop tops and mesh shirts and like short shorts, etc. Because there's no real dress code. Like you can wear sweats, athleisure. It helps to wear the brand. It's not really like an enforced code. It's more so like having an understanding of how to style the brands for, say, like a customer is asking, what's in for, their kid or for themselves, etc. But that's just something across the board. Having an understanding of the brand you're working for and the brands that they happen to carry. But otherwise, I give working there a pretty good, like solid, 7 to 8 out of 10. After a while, though, I was definitely looking for something a little bit different since I've kind of shifted the direction of what I'm trying to do and accomplish in life and where I'm trying to go in life. So I'm looking at stuff that kind of fit along the lines of where I'm trying to go. So I'm not currently with the company anymore. But, again, I am 29 going back to college. So things are kind of a mishmash for me personally, but that's not what the video is about. So, with that said, if you're trying to get through the interview process, just be confident. If you never worked a job before, just talk about your diligence in school, your eagerness to learn, flexibility of your schedule, and say how you socialize, how you handle problems, like in school or wherever else. Just talk about how your previous skills transfer currently into the position you're going after. Um, though there's no real dress code in store, you should know that for interviews, and this is across the board forever, it is best to dress a degree more sleek and presentable than the job you're applying for. So, not to say full on blazer, slacks, button down shirt, etc., etc., but I wouldn't wear sweatpants to the interview. I would wear maybe like a clean business casual presentation, something cute, but what you imagine you would wear to work or, you know, to a business meeting. Something a little bit more dressed up is the ideal interview fit. Again, it doesn't have to be like a high fashion look or super corporate, but it definitely needs to show that I care about my presentation and I care how I'm being seen right now. But otherwise, it's pretty easy shot. Just again, confidence helps sell yourself. And I can't really think of a whole lot else, but summary, fun job, easy to learn a lot of skills if you don't already have said skills. Great discount, very fun. I definitely spent more than I would have liked some days, especially during certain sales. Your discount does work at other brands. It just may not be the same percentage, etc., etc. There are like employee days, etc. So you get different discounts, like bonus discounts at certain brands, depending on like what company you're working at, etc., etc. I know I'm saying that a lot. And also, if you're curious, this is a Free People sweatshirt. I got it at Reclectic. That was my elbow. Reclectic is a whole different story. But, good luck to y'all or anybody who's trying to get into urban.